Well, we're talking all things education this week. The 2023 matric class now recording the highest pass rate in South Africa's history. Last night, Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga announced that 82.9% was the pass rate for 2023. And this comes after the quality assurer, Umalusi, approved the release of the results, but did state that they are concerned about cheating irregularities in certain provinces. Let's unpack this further. We're joined this morning by Umalusi's CEO, Dr. Mafu. It's great to talk to you, sir. Thanks very much indeed for coming on. It's a big job, isn't it? Hundreds of thousands matric students writing their exams, and you have the job of making sure that the results that are released at this time of year have integrity. What does that take?
Good morning to you, Michelle, and good morning to your viewers. Yes, indeed, it is a massive job. There's a lot of work involved, and we do it with passion, and there is rigor in the system. This means that all the papers that were written have been quality assured by Umalusi through its external moderation process. What happens is that the different assessment bodies set the papers, they moderate them internally, then they send them to Umalusi for Umalusi to do external moderation. Once a paper is approved, then it can be written, and during the writing of the examinations, Umalusi is the one that does the quality assurance of the writing to check that all the processes are according to the prescripts of the policy. For instance, the sitting arrangement of the students in the examinations rooms, and when are the papers opened. Even before then, would be interested to know where are the papers stored and how are they transported to the different examination centers. Beyond that, marking happens, and we do the verification of marking. And once the marks are captured on the computers, we do the standardization of the marks. Very important to note, after standardization, we consider the reports of the different assessment bodies, and then we approve the results to say, you can release these results, they are valid and credible, but where irregularities have been identified, those results are nullified or blocked. They will be blocked if further investigations still have to be done.
You know, the first part that you mentioned, Dr. Ramoketsi, the fact that you're, as Umalusi, also involved in approving the setting of the papers, that's incredibly important when it comes to actually looking at verifying the exams themselves, right? You have to be involved in the beginning part of the matric exams, which is setting the papers.
Yes, we are involved in the form of external moderation, and that is very key because we have to check that the papers comply with the prescripts of the curriculum and assessment policy statement, and they also comply with the subject assessment guidelines.
And who forms part of Umalusi's team, Dr. Ramoketsi? These people that are doing such a stellar job in the midst of even the copying scandal that was revealed across several provinces, primarily in KZN, the issue around missing parts of exam papers and misprints and so on. Who forms part of this army of Umalusi that takes charge of matric exams and results in this way?
Regarding the external moderation, we have appointed external moderators. Regarding the external moderation of the papers, we have appointed external moderators that come from different universities, also specialists at school level. We are talking also here about the subject advisors. These are experts in different fields of education, in accounting, business studies, mathematics, languages, and so forth and so on. And that is a team of people that are highly qualified and experienced. Now, as to how the errors creep in, we could get into that discussion to indicate that the paper, once approved, it is usually error-free. Sometimes the errors are introduced in the provinces where the papers are printed.
Yeah, so those are the printing errors and the poor printing quality in some exam papers that Umalusi reported as well in the release of these exam results. Umalusi also flagged another issue, Dr. Ramoketsi, the issue of translation quality. What do you mean by that?
Translation quality also has to do with what the department does beyond the approval of the paper. The paper will be approved in English, as an example. Now, there will be students who are writing that paper in Afrikaans, and the translation sometimes from English to Afrikaans is not accurate. So it is something that we said the department should look into.
Were there any issues that came out of the 2023 exams that were different from previous years? Essentially what I'm asking you is, how did 2023 match up in your experience compared to previous matric exams?
The 2023 examinations have gone on very well, and they compare favorably with the exams that we have run. And there is something that I want to amplify. It is that when these examinations are written, for instance, for the National Senior Certificate, it is the same National Senior Certificate for the IEB, for Sakai at DBE, same standard. Quality assured by Umalusi, and the certificates are issued by Umalusi.
Yeah, that's an incredibly important issue. And then let's go to the issues around group copying. Given the sheer scale of the job at hand insofar as quality assurance of matric exams is concerned, I would go as far as to say that it's quite incredible that this group copying scandal was uncovered by Umalusi. Issues of students getting the same answers right, the same answers wrong. Does that mean that during the oversight process, that those people who are marking and those people who are doing the oversight on the part of Umalusi, that they are also talking to each other in this process?
What happens here is that when marking is on, the markers themselves, who may be employed by the Department of Basic Education in the different provinces, once they detect the same responses from the learners, where the learners get the same answers correctly, the same answers wrongly, then that raises a flag to say something should be wrong here. Why are these learners getting the same things wrong? Why are they getting the same thing right? Then those scripts are subjected to further scrutiny to determine whether there's not been group copying. And I'm very happy that we have been able to identify these problems because they undermine the integrity of the examinations.
Dr. Mafu Ramoketsi, let me thank you for your time this morning. Umalusi's CEO. Umalusi, of course, is the quality assurer of our matric exams. Dr. Ramoketsi, let me thank you for your time.